friends, hello and welcome back. Hopefully everyone's having a lovely day. So we're gonna go ahead and go over our playmaker build for NHL 24. Now we're gonna wait a little bit and get this stuff unlocked, but some of this stuff don't get unlocked till like rank 49. So it might be a while. I know a lot of people when you first start playing the game, it's like, let's get that build, let's get it going now. So I thought, you know what, we'll just go over some of the abilities, the zone abilities and stuff that we want to use when they are unlocked right now. So we're going to start with, of course, the playmaker. We're going to go 5'10", like going 5'10". You don't want to be too small, but you also don't want to be too big or it's hurting your speed. So I think 5'10" is a good happy medium there. It gets that speed around 85. That's always been my goal, is get that 85 speed, and then 179 gets you just a tick. Was I wrong there? That was 181. Okay, so we can go 180 actually if we want to. We're going to go 180 just because get that weight up as much as possible is the goal there without making the speed go down. So 181 would make the speed go down to point the agility would change. So we try to keep it right around there. We're left-handed. Your shot is obviously a preference. The zone ability. So tape to tape's what we got unlocked. I personally prefer to use elite edges, exceptional maneuverability, with the ability to turn tight corners while retaining speed. Speed is so important in this game. So is being able to cut, move around, and make moves. You don't want to be able to. You don't want to. Obviously, you can you can try it if you want, but you know you want to be able to cut. You want to be able to turn. You don't want to be straight lining, because the more you skate straight, the more predictable it is. So the more you can turn, cut, while also maintaining that speed without getting caught from behind, bumped off the puck. It's so important. So I like using elite edges for the zone ability. But again, elite edges, it's an unlocked at 49. So it's like, it's going to be a little bit. So if you're kind of in the middle there, you know, waiting, tape to tape, exceptional power and accuracy on saucer and backhand passes within vision. I can go without that. Magnetic, third eye, large increase to pass assist with exceptional puck on a string, exceptional toe drag and stick handling speed. I think really if you're not going to use that, I think magnetic's important. Having that ability to do puck pickups is so important. So if you can't unlock the elite edges for a while, level 15, get magnetic. That would be my first choice. Zone ability wise, and again, superstar abilities can be kind of the same story, where you're currently using ice pack, which is the ability to do better shot blocking and so forth, which again we're not too worried about. It's just what we have unlocked right now. If we're going this direction, we're kind of looking at advanced power and accuracy when taking wrist and snapshots and close proximity to the net. I think the shot's important. I think the shot's kind of devalued a little bit with the playmaker and other ones, attribute wise. So you can kind of make up for it with the close quarters. I like using close quarters. And then of course, magnetic's good if you don't have that unlocked for the zone ability. I also like looking defensively here and picking up a quick pick. Quick pick is advanced at intercepting pucks off the ice. Also increases a player's range with intercepting pass. And this is so important in this game, because especially as a player maker, especially as a skill position, we should say like a playmaker, a sniper, instead of being more of a two-way defensive player, it's a lot more difficult to intercept passes, and it's so important to be able to intercept passes in this game. So quick pick, I think it's a must. If you can unlock quick pick, you got to have it, guys. I can tell you right now, the one thing that drives me nuts as a playmaker, you can tell the puck goes through the player more. That's why we always try to do our best to get the defensive awareness up, hand-eye, and stuff like that. And then going to the boost. Again, the boost, I like when you have an unlock, you don't really have a choice here. You have to use the speed, you have to use the durable skate, you have to use the speed, you have to use the acceleration. In a game where speed and acceleration is so important, you have to use them when you have them unlocked. Now, when you don't have them unlocked, again, I kind of like to look back to the defensive side of things. I like to use the +4 defensive awareness if it is unlocked. Or potentially, I think is there stick checking in here? Yeah, a defensive awareness, stick checking. I kind of like to use those, preferably the defensive awareness. I try to get that first +4. It's important because again, you're trying to get them stats up the best you can for your defense, your defensive player. And then there ain't. I didn't think there's a face-off thing this year, and there's definitely not. And you kind of look at, if you want to, there's the speed again, you got to bring that up. But if you want to, the second one's kind of a preference. I like to be able to have a defensive player to kind of counteract, because I'm playing center. If you're playing wing, maybe it's not as important to be in the middle of the ice. You're playing a little bit different style. But as a center, I'm trying to beef my guy up defensively best as possible, and I'm going to hurt my defensive stats in the attribute categories a little bit. So I'm trying to make up for it a little bit in the boosts. So I'm going to go stick checking. I'm going to go defensive awareness. But again, we'll see how that goes this year, because the stick checking is a lot more difficult. We might not go defense. We're probably going to go, I'm going to be honest, we're probably going to drop the stick checking and look more towards something like probably wrist shot accuracy, maybe wrist shot power, boost up the shot a little bit. We'll probably go wrist shot accuracy. Seems like there's pretty good power in the players this year. So we'll probably hit that +2 on a wrist shot accuracy. unless we see some sort of update where the stick checking is a little bit better, because right now it's kind of tough. But anyway, going to our attributes, we're going to bump up that accuracy just a little bit, 83. Again, depends on your play style, but for us, the slap shot accuracy, it's really not that important. You have to have the +5 speed. Speed's everything in this game. So you get the +5 speed, and we're dropping other categories to not hurt it too much. We drop one in the balance, because again, balance is important because you don't want to be knocked out the puck as easily. So we try to keep the balance kind of up, but again, it's tough because you have to make room for the speed somewhere. We dropped the agility a little bit. We dropped the 5 points, actually. I shouldn't say a little bit, but agility is one of those things where I feel like, again, I don't want to call it a broken stat, but it feels like a broken stat sometimes, where it's more of you just get used to using your player and your feel. Once you get used to the cuts and everything else, the elite edges will help it a little bit. The agility for a player, I think the size and the weight means a lot more than the actual statistic does. Wrist shot accuracy, or again, 83 power or accuracy on a slap shot, 77. So going to the power, we have wrist shot power. We kept it the same. Again, it feels like the wrist shot power is a little bit better this year. Last year it felt like it was shooting straight turds on it, so it does feel a little better. The power we dropped down on slap shot because we just don't use it as much. Dropped it to a 74, and typically you're in close quarters, you're not going to use that slap shot as much as a forward. So we dropped that down to get the acceleration +5. Puck control, again, you want to try to maintain puck control the best you can. So we didn't want to hurt it too much. We dropped the -1. Endurance, the -3 on the endurance, because again, endurance is a lot of just being able to pace yourself, not always using your speed burst so you can get it back. So I ain't too worried about losing endurance points there. You just have to be mindful on the ice so you're just not constantly mashing your speed burst button, especially when you're playing defense. Back skate a lot, kind of glide around, follow players, don't get caught chasing a puck. You'll get your endurance back pretty easily. And again, with the pressure system this season making a big difference. Going to the play style, the passing, I thought we could afford dropping the passing because we're gaining in other categories. We're a playmaker, the passing's high. We don't really even need a 92 passing, being completely honest. I thought the same with the defensive or offensive awareness being at 87. We're going to drop that passing a little bit more, actually. We're going to drop the 2 more points. Oh, no, that's what we didn't do. We couldn't afford it, could we? No, yeah, we could. We're going to do that. And we're going to pump up the stick checking a little bit more. Get the stick checking, the defensive awareness, give those boosts, because 81, 82, that's solid. And anything 90+ passing is still you're going to definitely reap the benefits of a playmaker and its passing abilities. Body checking, we're just not a big hitter now. Hitting's more important this season. Now that I bring it up, I think we're going to get that. We're going to bump it a little bit more back up. We're going to bump it up right about there. I think that's where that point should have went. Keep the hitting minus, or body checking -3, because it is, again, it's a more important stat this season. Again, size is such a big deal with it regardless. Making the proper hits, being able to bump the guy at the puck is more important than anything. Going to the tenacity, we have hand-eye +4. Again, the pickups, it's so important. The deflection skills in front of the net, so important. Be able to tip those pucks and pick it up off the rush on heavy, passes from your teammates and so on and so forth. The strength, we didn't touch the strength. The durability is -2. Again, it's a lot of, it's 74 to 76, 74 to 78. It's not a big difference. You take big hits, you're going to get hurt. You don't take big hits, you're less likely to get hurt. That's just part of the game. So just get better at, moving that puck, not taking those shots, and the durability won't be affected too much. Body or shot blocking is, for us, we have the -2. Again, we're just trying to balance a little bit more for the hand-eye. Again, we see, shot blocking can be more of a manual thing. A lot of that stuff has to do with your own personal abilities on the ice. So we are okay with dropping the shot blocking for that matter. Then we go to the tactics. And now this is where it depends on what you're playing. We're playing center, +5 faceoffs. It's an absolute must, because if you don't have that +5, you're going to be handicapping yourself into the draws, because somebody else is going to +5 and you're not. So every 50-50, you're probably going to lose because they have a higher faceoff rating. So you have to have that. If you're not a center, go ahead and slap that all on deking, and then you can still drop the discipline and fighting skill, because that's stuff that I feel like just does not have a big impact on the game, especially fighting, so you don't really need that. So it's stuff like that. Use your attributes on one of the 2 categories there. Nonetheless, though, that is our playmaker build for NHL 24. Guys, go ahead and try that out. Let me know how you guys feel about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, if you did, I'd appreciate you consider liking, subscribing. You never have to. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.